Hey soul family, how are you? Happy winter solstice. Today we're taking a look at the story of your life. We're going to take a look at your past, your present, as well as your future. So this is the plan for today's reading. Today you'll be, oh, look at that. You'll be picking between one of these three sigils or maybe more if you're drawn to them, of course. But as I always tell you guys, in case you prefer to pick your piles using your zodiac signs, do note that there is an option, that this option is there. You'll find the timestamp for it down in the description box, which will take you straight to the part of the introduction where we shuffle your zodiac signs and find out in which of the piles they'll fall under. And if you wish for Spirit to pick your pile, this is also an option, and you will find the timestamp for that as well down in the description box. Otherwise, let's take a look at today's cards. For pile number 1, this is your sigil. And your crystal is the beautiful peach moonstone in the shape of a heart. For pile number 2, this is your sigil. And your crystal is the beautiful mahogany obsidian in the shape of an angel. Whoa. It should settle in a moment. There we go. Ah, I hope that's not hurting your eye. Let me try one more time. There we go. Sorry about that. And for piles, like the angel has such high vibration, it's been moving the camera. At least I felt this way. For pile number 3, your sigil. This is your sigil. And your crystal is the beautiful Sodalite in the shape of a star. Also, the star is twinkling. There's something with the camera today. My apologies. I'll zoom you in so that you can see them better. It's not working today. So yeah, let me zoom you in so you can look at your cards as well as your crystals. There you go. So please take a look at which one of these 3 piles or 3 crystals you're the most drawn to, and this will be the pile for you here today. In case you feel drawn to more than one pile, more than one crystal, maybe you're drawn to a pile and another crystal from another pile, like a card, another crystal from another pile. As I always advise you guys, trust your intuition. It's meant to take you to the messages you're meant to hear in today's reading. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box, which will take you straight to your readings. And please note that in the next section, you can pick your pile using your zodiac signs. If this is something you're interested in, please stick around. If not, please pause the video and take as much time as you need. All right, if you prefer to pick your piles as mentioned using your zodiac signs, welcome, my dear soul family. This part of the introduction has been created specifically for you so that you can do just that. And in a moment, after the shuffling, there's a strong entrance of Leo here. If you have a Leo placement in your chart, anywhere in your chart, I highly recommend pile number 1 for you. But as I was saying, after the shuffling, I will be drawing out 4 signs for each pile. All right, let's get straight into it. We need 3 more for pile 1. There we go. And then we need 4 for the second pile. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we need the rest for the third pile. Okay, so the signs for each pile are, pile 1, you've got Leo, Scorpio, Gemini, as well as Pisces. Pile number 2, you've got Libra. You've got the signs Libra, Cancer, Taurus, as well as Capricorn. And for pile number 3, the signs are Sagittarius, Aquarius, Aries, as well as Virgo. So, my dear soul family, these are the zodiac signs and their association to each of the piles in today's reading. Please feel free to pick your pile or piles using your sun, moon, or rising. I highly recommend you check out the 3. Alternatively, if you prefer to pick your pile using any other placement in your chart, please feel free to do that. These are just different suggestions. Your way is always the right way. What resonates with you is the right way. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box, which will take you straight to your readings. And please note that in the next section, Spirit will be picking your pile for you. If this is something that you're interested in, please stick around. If not, please pause the video and take as much time as you need. All right, if you prefer to pick your piles using your, if you prefer for Spirit to pick your pile, welcome. This part of the introduction has been created specifically for you so that you can do just that. And as you know, what I like to do is assign a different tarot card to each pile based on the numerology of the major arcana. And so the Magician will be presenting pile number 1, the High Priestess pile number 2, and the Empress pile number 3. And I simply just like to shuffle them around until one of the cards draw my attention, and that's usually by like a mistake. I miss passing on a card, I miss pulling a card from the other side, a card drops, anything like that, I will know it is your chosen pile. There we go. So your chosen pile by Spirit, my dear soul family, is pile number 2. Wonderful. So these were the different ways in which you can pick your pile in today's reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed them and that they brought you the clarity that you need to find your pile. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your timestamps and I will see you in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at the story of your life. We're going to start off by taking a look at the energy of your past. And then we'll be taking a look at the present, what you're presently going through, the energy of your present, obviously. And then we're going to be taking a look at the energy of your future. So that is the plan for today's reading. Very quickly, before we begin, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Peach Moonstone. This is your significator card. It's a sigil. We'll be reading this sigil during the reading, the guidebook for the sigil during the reading. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, I also feel this one, although it was the first card, but it kept poking out. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Leo, Scorpio, Gemini, as well as Pisces. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Okay, so let's get straight into it. We're looking now at the energy of your past, that part of your story. What is the energy of pile number 1's past, please? What is the energy of pile number 1's past? So you've got the story of the cunning monkey. Hello. There we go, the cunning monkey. And the keywords are malicious, manipulation, as well as comeuppance. Comeuppance, yeah. You've got big corporation. Okay. It looks like it's taking us to some time in your past when a big corporation somehow was cunning with you. Maybe for some of you it's talking about a point in your past, like it's very significant to your story, this particular story here, to your life story. And it has to do with like big banks maybe robbing you, or a big corporation maybe didn't play well, like they took something from you. It could be the job that you were working in. I don't know, but maybe you lost a lot of stocks at some point, or you had huge debt towards a bank. Well, it's taking us somewhere along these lines, the past. And it's obviously very significant to your story, as I mentioned. You've got Earth, right, with the keyword lessons. Remember when I was just, and I kept telling you it's important to your story, it seems like you came here on Earth to experience this particular situation because it was giving you a very important lesson, awareness to something. So lessons, right? Reorientation, awareness, 3D experience. Yeah, you definitely talks about how you came here to experience this in specific. And don't they look like a projector projecting like the movie onto a wall, something playing out? It's as if, to me, it feels like you've observed this particular thing happening before you came to Earth. Because you knew you were going to experience this. We'll find out why it's so significant. You've got Mars in Aquarius with rebellion. It seems to me like you've rebelled. Very interesting pile, I must say. What are the signs again? Scorpio, Pisces, Leo, and Gemini. Yeah. Wow. Strong signs. Well, let's continue. You've got Venus in Leo with affair. I mean, these don't have to be the only signs in this pile, obviously, but yeah, a lot of you do pick the piles using your signs. So you've got the Nine of Swords. You've got, wow, the Tower card. This was rough, wasn't it? I'm very sorry about that. And you've got the Queen of Cups. It looks like in your past you were able to totally overcome something. Good for you. And you've got the World card, and you've got the Hanged Man there. So let's take a look, at the guidebook for this story. I think it's going to give us a huge perspective. Okay, so we've got the Cunning Monkey. It's a story from Thailand, page 40. So what do we have with this story? This cautionary tale revolves around a cunning but malicious monkey who thrived on deceit and manipulation. Yeah, affair. They did something behind your back, it seems. Okay. After tricking a woman out of all of her freshly fried fish cakes, the monkey's schemes backfired. And that's what I feel happened here. It backfired on them. They played the wrong person here in this pile. Okay. A pack of dogs. Oh, look at that. Oh, yes, that is the card. Hello. Sorry. A pack of dogs attracted by the scent of the fish cakes attacked the monkey, proving that what comes up will always inevitably come down. This card illustrates how deceitful and manipulation can be seemingly beneficial, but are ultimately self-destructive. embrace kindness, honesty, and humility. They're not only they'll not only prevent trouble, but foster lasting rewards. This story urges you to consider your actions carefully. Short term gains garnered from cunning may blind you to the potential consequences of your actions. Instead, prioritize integrity and empathy in your dealings as they pave the way for a more prosperous future. Okay, so it's pretty clear. It does look like like I've been explaining, a bank, any of the things we've talked about, a company that you worked in, they try to play you. They try to take something from you. Perhaps they try to pay you less and get so much more out of you, or maybe they try to trick you into a loan. I don't know. But there is cunning here, for sure. It's not perceived cunning, it's actual cunning. And it seems like you really suffered from this, but it did backfire on these people, which is an amazing story because you don't always hear a good ending necessarily with real life stories, at least right away in the specific timeline or this time when things are happening. So it's really good to see that you were able to rebel back, because that's what I'm seeing here in your cards. You were able to stand up for yourself, although you were very stressed, which is what I'm seeing with the Nine of Swords. So you were stressed, you were scared, but you stood up for yourself. That's what I'm seeing. And it did result to you getting something that you wished. You were holding something that was very important to you. Not just what they were trying to take from you or a reward, maybe this is a lawsuit, but you grew. You got a huge lesson here. You grew from this situation with the Queen of Cups here. You've built strength. That's a strength figure. You grew as a person. You've built strength. You saw yourself being strong, standing strong in a situation like that. And it's funny. It's like this. These people, they've done something behind your back. They did not think that you would hit back. Or maybe these are people protecting you and hitting back. Perhaps you were lucky to have, as you were standing there, a community that stood by you. So it really depends how this resonates with you. But the surprise that I want to tell you is that you came here to experience this situation. Although it was scary and harsh, you were meant to experience it as part of your life story. I'm sure your past has so many other things, but when we're looking at your life, this seems significant because we're looking at you uh, before coming to Earth, looking at this through like what seems like a projector. Like you've seen this play out and you were ready to come and fight because it provided a lot of growth for you, my dear pilot number one. It does look to me like going through this allowed you to enter a gateway or a timeline that you did not have access to before until you have a specific type of growth. Perhaps this is like strength, and Queen of Cups could be self-esteem, could be self-confidence in your strength, right? Specific, you had to believe in your strength in some form of way so that you were able to vibrate higher and thus being able to enter a specific timeline guarded by higher entities. This sort of vibration, you see the dogs here? It's like as if it's that situation that was actually, oh, hold up. I want to tell you that you weren't alone in this situation. Even if you thought you were alone, you had a lot of guides or angels or beings or an animal spirit or animal spirits that were there guarding you. And you made it in your past. You've become stronger, and you were able to, it seems in your past, whether you realize it or not, enter a timeline. You've gone through a timeline shift and you've started experiencing, because of this timeline shift, a totally different experience than you have ever before. That's what I know about timelines. Going through a better timeline means that you, from that point onwards, or maybe after a while, you started experiencing in your life a totally different experience in life, a very good one. And if you want to know, it is because of this particular, and I must say peculiar, experience that you got your rights from right away, which seems awesome. Yeah, it's like, wow, what a story. But I've learned 100% to trust in the cards that come out. This is exactly what I am seeing for this pile, and this is the story that chose to come out of your past. That's very significant. Yeah, let's get now into your present and take a look at the energy of your present. I'm sure by now you know if this is your reading or not. And let's see what's going on in the energy of your present. Okay, so we are going to pull out some tarot oracle cards. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be pulling out some oracle cards. I'll shuffle this in a moment. Right, so you've got the story of Cologne Arang. Whoa, such power. Wow. Right, we'll read the story in a moment. So we've got senseless, backlash, as well as betrayal. You've got history. Didn't I tell you guys? Your story of the past is 100% the wave that affects the next. You're in that next, and what you're doing now will affect the future. So yeah, that's why your story, when we're taking a look at your life, it picked that point of time because it started having a ripple effect moving forward, a strong ripple effect moving forward. Right, you've got Vesta with the keyword devotion, right? And the other keywords are sacred sexuality, fertility, Kundalini energy, dedication, purity, self-discipline, focused passion, diligence, inner spark, as well as spiritual commitment. And you've got the moon in Cancer with friendship. Okay. Wonderful. And let's shuffle your tarot cards to see what we have here when it comes to the story of your present. My dear pile number one, what is the story of your present? Right, you've got the Ace of Wands. It seems to me like you have right now a form of power that you're holding. Blessed, maybe it's not big, but it's blessed. You like it with this particular Ace of Wands. Maybe this is a job that you have that you love. Maybe this is a family that you love and you feel blessed with. And maybe this is wealth, like some money that you have that you feel blessed with, and so on. Maybe this is health, right? Well, in any case, you've got some form of power that you have. Maybe it's not huge, but it's definitely, it makes you feel blessed. And you've got the Strength card. The Fool card. Nice. And you've got the Nine of Pentacles. Remember when I told you your stress from the past is the reason where you are today? Nine of Pentacles. It helped you. It pushed you. It helped you to create some wealth, or maybe Nine of Pentacles, you were able to materialize something that's important to you. So what am I seeing? It looks to me like in the Fool card, we've got the Hierophant standing. We don't have the Full figure standing, which gives me the idea that you're restarting something, but you're restarting in your present moment from a place of experience, from a place of something solid. Yeah, you're starting something, but you're not starting as a beginner, is all that I'm saying. You're definitely supported by something big with the Hierophant. That could be something legal, this could be your experience. This could be, for example, maybe you just started, for some of you, a new job. The Hierophant, although it's a new job, you're coming in with great experience. You're the one coming to provide experience. This could be maybe you have your own business and you're getting into the market. Although it's a new market, you're an old player. It's just a new company, right? Something like that. Yeah. All I can tell you is that I see you right now starting something new, the Fool, the Ace of Wands, but you're starting from a place of power, not a place of weakness. And it seems to me like you're starting to have access to something that you did not have access to before. I don't know why. It seems like, I wouldn't say it was impossible, but it looks like someone in your life or something in your life made it unnecessarily hard for you to have that access. Like, for example, if this is your work, it could be that it's not like impossible for you to get a certain position. Let's say you are a hard worker and now they almost can't tell you, like, you can't have that or something. I don't know. I just get that impression with the Empress and the Sphinx and the Strength card. Just an impression. And I see a devil here who's really mad, super upset that you're getting there. It's almost like we don't want you to get it, but I guess you're doing it the right way and you're getting it. What can we do? Maybe it's presenting, since I don't know your story, perhaps it's presenting the energy that we saw in your past. I have no idea. But I'm just telling you the elements that I'm seeing in your reading, knowing that you definitely know what Spirit is talking about when it comes to your reading. So, overall, let's take a look at your story. Kalon Arang. Kalon Arang is a story from Indonesia. Amazing. Let's take a look. It says, a sinister witch constantly caused problems in nearby villages, leading all to avoid her and her beautiful daughter in fear. Enraged that no one would marry her daughter, the witch cursed the village with a plague. The local priest sent an acolyte to marry the witch's daughter while devising a plan to kill the witch. Upon meeting, the acolyte and the daughter ended up falling in love and were wed. The daughter, who did love her mother, was also tired of her mother's senseless violence. She helped the acolyte defeat her, ending her reign of tyranny for good. This card can be read in two ways. If you've been creating needless suffering, this is a wake-up call that you could lose all you cherish if you do not change. If you are under the thumb of someone, which I feel is going on here for you, who is causing you distress, this is a push for you to cut them off while you can. Now, this could mean that for you 100%, but it definitely confirms the idea that you had someone or a corporation or something creating chaos in your life. And it seems like you are now creating history. You are the first to do something, maybe the first to do something in your job, the first to do something to your local, what is it called, municipality, or I don't know. But yeah, it seems like you are doing something that is absolutely unexpected. I want to say yet again, or maybe it's related to the first part of your reading. And so maybe this is where you fight back. But I genuinely feel when we looked at your past that you've already overcome something. I did see you fight back. So I want to say yet again, you're doing something again. Oh, strength. Remember when I told you you needed a sort of strength in order to enter a timeline? Yet again, you're using now that strength to fight something. The way you're fighting this now is through love and not through the rough way that you used in the first part of your story. So perhaps it talks about the strength of persevering when others wouldn't think you would persevere. It's your love towards something that kept you going, that kept you wanting to achieve something, that kept you wanting to push through despite all of the limitations, it seems, that these people were doing. They were trying to guard something. Yeah, it's like only some people can come in, and you made it, sort of energy is what I'm seeing here. You made it, you're holding some form of power here. And it's like, hey, you've got the keys, you're standing there in power, you were thought of as a fool, you're not, you're like, hey, can I get in now? And they're like, I guess. It's almost like you did something. I know this sounds crazy, but it is what I'm seeing. I don't know what you're doing, but no one expected you to make it, is all I'm trying to say in this pile. No one expected you to make it. And look at the Sphinx staring. It's like, what do we do now? This person made it against all odds. Someone's really mad here, but you're making it, you know? And it leaves them no choice but to let you in. You made it because of devotion, as we see here. You were calm, you were spiritually committed as well, you had focused passion. You, with Kundalini energy, you grew a lot, you grew your strength, you grew your vibration, you got into this new timeline, and you just made it. It looks like yet again another time, take two, you're making history. And as I will keep telling you, you saw this. That's why you came to play this role. Perhaps this is why everyone's stunned, but your soul was ready for it. And so right now, you're going through something big. We see the same energy of betrayal. And you know that story of the witch that wanted to curse the whole town? It actually makes me think about something. Perhaps you're in a certain system where they are fooling most people. The system could be your work, the system could be anything really, where they're fooling most people, but you weren't fooled. And if you want to know why you weren't fooled, first of all, your soul was ready for this. Second of all, you've accumulated a sort of strength that we saw you accumulate in your past. That is the reason you're pulling through with such grace. I want to say with the Empress, such grace, such class, such tranquility and calmness. And yet again, yes, yet again, the Fool and the Ace of Wands. Hello? Like I kept telling you, I have the sense that there's a yet again. Of course, the Hierophant is standing in the Fool's place. This is a yet again. And again, right now, it seems that you're not going to go through this situation with stress, but you are going to go through this materializing something that you want. This is currently happening for you. You're devoted. No one is able to stand in your way. Let's say the plans that they set in to safeguard this advantage is being broken by your devotion and your spiritual commitment and everything else. And also, there's something about how with friendship here, you've got a friend or you've got friends or you've got people who are devoted to you, helping you during that time. Let's see what this friendship card is trying to say at this present moment. 5 of Swords in the background of the 5 of Cups. It looks like you got a friend or someone close to you. I mean, it doesn't, like, it could be, for example, a family member that you consider a friend. It could be an actual friend. It could be a close colleague to you there that is helping you out with the situation, that really loves you. Yeah, because it looks here like you have someone who's helping you beat through this whole thing. And your friend here at this point in time is playing a crucial role in helping you beat the system. So a quick example I can think about, let's say you have a friend in the HR department, right? And so this friend, not that this is right? We're just reading tarot cards. It's for entertainment purposes. No one should do that. But let's say you have a friend in the HR who's like, hey, be careful. They're planning to do this. you can mitigate it by not accepting, for example, this offer or something. And so with the help of your friend, in that case, you help beat the system, and then everyone's stunned. How did you make it here? Or maybe you have a friend in the IT department who goes, hey, I can help you out with this. I can help bring you, like do extra work to help bring you more market information that will help you succeed. I don't want it paid or anything. I can help you out. So they help you out with the knowledge that they have. And we can go on and on. But all I'm trying to say is that a big part of beating the system is not just the devotion towards that goal that you have, which is amazing, no doubt about that, but also the devotion that you have from a friend. Together, this is beating a specific system, giving you strength to beat a specific system where you have people super unhappy that you're making it, achieving something here, but can't tell you anything. They can't say anything but, I guess, come in. So yeah, something like that. And right now, what you would have gone through, what should have been super stressful, is materializing instead without that stress, because that's the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, what should have been stressful, which is the Nine of Swords, is not stressful. You'll be surprised to see that you're going through yet another grand materialization at this point of your life right now without the stress, and that's probably the strength or the vibration that you've picked up from the first wave that you've gone through. And that's the second wave that we're looking at. They're depicting your life as waves, the first affecting the second, and the second, which is right now, is about to affect a huge wave. So in your future, I'm already being able to predict that there is a strong bang again to your favor. Let's see what this bang is. That is what you're going through at the moment. Again, I will preface this by saying, I'm sure your life has so much more to it. But when looking at the energy of your life, this is what's choosing to come out as one of the most important parts of your story. Why? I will repeat myself. It is because you saw this. You wanted to go through this. It's very important. I'm sure we'll find out why this was so important to you as a life lesson on Earth. All right, let's pull out your cards for the future. What is your story in the future? Hello? In the future, my dear pile number 1. Right, you've got the story of Battle of Two Roosters with the keywords Peric, Pursuit, as well as Omens. All right. You've got the card, the sign Cancer with the keywords the Caretaker. So the keywords are loyalty, emotional depth, sympathetic, moody, tenacious, protective, nurturing, familial ties, hypersensitive, sense of home, as well as the ruler of the 4th house. You've got radioactive material. Okay. And you've got, I see a lot of luck. Like what's about to happen in your future is absolutely fated, since we have the palm. You've got Jupiter in Aries with enterprise. Okay. Whoa, you're going big in life. That's why you've got the enterprise. You are going big in life. And remember when I told you someone here isn't happy that you are going that big. Right, so let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you've got the 5 of Pentacles. You've got, you've got the 4 of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, and you've got the Chariotee on the Knight of Pentacles. You're moving forward in life in such a grand way. And you've got the Death card. Okay. Okay, so obviously it was fated for you to reach this point. What is this point? It looks like you were able to rebuild yourself. Perhaps this is suggesting that you had a lot of loans. This is the Five of Pentacles. And you, as well, we do know that you have a friend or friends. You were able to build yourself back again. That's, I see you in the future paying off your debts. Not just that, but also creating some form of stability, financial stability, where you are picking the pieces up that was from the past that made it hard for you to do anything. So I see you picking up the pieces, you and your friend or friends, and you're slowly but surely building things up, and you're making it, right? You're making it, and you're playing it smart, because it seems like you have a stable income where you are getting so much more than they assessed you would get. So if I were to guess, maybe you were able to climb the hierarchy at work and get a better position, creating a better financial position than you thought you would, or anyone there thought you would. Maybe this is a side hustle, and thus you're able to build your financial stability, the Four of Pentacles. It could be a lot of, maybe you're investing in the stock, you're investing in something. I don't know. And I don't know why you have someone who really doesn't want to get you there. It might not be like, but it did say big corporation. But, it might be something in the past. This could be someone in your life who doesn't want you to get there. Who knows? Only you will know. But all I'm seeing here is that you're building yourself up. You're making it. You're making something happen, especially with money here, or some resource that you've lacked. It was starting to work out in the present reading, which is now. It's starting to work out for you now. And it's going to start working for you without stress. And in the future, I see you building what you lacked. You're slowly but surely taking yourself out of the lack energy completely, and starting to be financially stable, where you're getting most of what you deserve and not just a fraction of it. You're getting most. You're like, yay, all of this is mine. I get the hours I'm putting in, or I get the benefits that I'm putting in, or something along these lines. So Knight of Pentacles suggests that this isn't going to happen like overnight, but it suggests that you're slowly but surely moving ahead in life, especially financially. And then I see an inundation of wealth pouring into your life suddenly, creating a massive transformation in your life. So much so that the old you, the old life is being put in the past, and you becoming a mogul, a huge mogul. This is when you become threatening, it seems. Maybe you become a mogul in your company, a mogul in your market. Who knows what this is? But this is big. This is big energy. Again, this was all fated. It's like you're breaking out of a mold, or breaking out of a system or something, and you're becoming a mogul yourself. With radioactive material, you're becoming so big. Do you see? You're becoming so big. Your wealth is becoming so big that you are going to be a threat, it seems, to someone who isn't happy that you're there, is not happy. It's like, no, what are you doing there? And I remember this story, Battle of Two Roosters, which was an ego fight that made both lose everything. So be careful with that. Try not to get into an ego fight, which takes us right away to your guidance. What is your guidance? Because you've got someone here in the future who's like, no, I'm not happy you're there. You've become too big. This could be the CEO feeling like the market is totally dependent on you. You're the big name. You're the brand. Or this could be you opening a small business that becomes a big business in the market. It could really be so many things. But I do predict that in your future, you're becoming a big mogul, playing with the big boys, whoever these big boys are. And they're not happy from the very beginning. Remember your cards? I did shuffle them. Remember with the Sphinx, with the Empress, it's like, I don't know if you should get in. Do you see? Your story keeps saying the same thing. You got in, and now you've got people who are very unhappy. So what is your guidance here? And we will, of course, take a look at the guidebook to see what your blind spot is, because that's a huge blind spot that you want to be careful with. It suggests that if you look at this blind spot, perhaps you won't be affected by this situation. You know what I love about this guidebook actually is that it gives advice. So maybe there is like this advice that's already there in your story. Let's take a look. So we're looking at the battle of the battle of two roosters. I found it. It's actually the first one. So it's a story from Brunei. Let's see what the guidance is here, because you're gonna be something huge one day, it seems, this pile. So it says, this story narrates how two rulers seeking to resolve their feud through a rooster duel lost their prized birds to the sea. So both of them had these roosters that they were very proud of, and they lost them. Because I remember reading this whole story. So divine intervention transformed these roosters into islands, a reminder of the self-destructiveness of using violence to solve disputes. Oh, so maybe it's like someone pushing, you feel like you're a mogul yourself, so you push back and it becomes destructive or something. Because I remember in the story it was more of an ego fight, where one of them, both of them actually continuing a fight that needed not happen. So I would say your guidance is, even before we continue, is that when you push back and there is it starts becoming egotistical, yeah, instead of actually setting boundaries, it's time to like let it like stop. Like, as long as you have your boundaries there, you're strong, you're not threatened, there's no need to continue to prove who's better, so be careful with that. Anyways, it says, this card advises caution in the relentless pursuit of an adversary, warning of self-destruction in the process. Recognize when to halt after achieving success, lest you snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Oh, every time I read this line, I love it. Lest you snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Display restraint and wisdom by acknowledging when goals are met and grievances must be released. This tale invites introspection regarding the impact on ourselves, our community, and the environment. It also suggests that personal setbacks can be transformed into valuable experiences, shared as warnings to protect others from going down the same road. So, best thing I can tell you is, don't let your ego stand in your way. Don't let your pride, your love for your success, create this persona of wanting to be always perceived in a specific way, or thinking, hey, how can someone do this to me? It's okay to protect yourself, but you want to remember when to stop, when you got your success, lest you grab defeat from the jaws of success, as it was saying. So know when to stop is basically what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing the fourth house, ruler of the fourth house. You're building stability. You're building it with love. You're building it through the nurture, love, and care that you put in your soul. You're building it with friends or family or a team that you care about. This friendship could be a team that you have that you care about. All I'm trying to say is that there's beautiful energy here. Nurture, love, care between you and others as you build something. So honor that. Enjoy that in the near future. Enjoy that. And there will come a point where things completely transformed. You're not the same person anymore. You're not seen as the same person, nor do you see yourself as the same person. And I'm not talking in terms of not seeing yourself as the same person because your ego got you, but you really did. You really will transform as a person and you will grow, and that's okay. You will grow into something big. Your whole world is going to transform in your future. You saw that coming. But before I end this reading, and your whole world is going to transform, it's divine. It's meant to happen. We did see your guidance and your advice. Now the blind spot that you want to keep in mind. This is a blind spot that your soul wants you to keep in mind. It's probably where you would usually fall in your past life, and it's good to have an idea on what to be careful with. So, short-term thinking is the blind spot here. If you have drawn this sigil, you are falling into the trap of short-term thinking. You are not thinking and doing things with the long-term implications, which is, by the way, which is something you should consider in the past, where you were thinking short-term in the past, where you're thinking short-term now. But I can tell you, looking at your cards, in the future, the short-term thinking could be, I am this, because you're really going to grow here and transform. Yes, you are going to be a mogul, but remember, your power will equally grow, and it can be destructive in a way that it wasn't before when you got this angry, So you want to be very careful here. But yeah, you are not thinking and doing things with the long-term implications in your mind, and this will come back to bite you. People tend to have a strong preference for immediate payoffs as opposed to delayed payoffs, even when the long-term payoffs far outweigh the short-term ones. This may be leading you to making choices that your future self would prefer you had not made. The bottom line is this: if we are making decisions for the future or making choices for right now, we will often make different decisions. So my question to you is, for right now, because we know the future part, what is it that you can be doing right now that you may regret, your future self may regret, and would say, I wish I would go back and make different decisions, which is the now for you? What decisions could you be looking at from a short-term perspective, getting gains from right now that your future self, your future self will not really appreciate? And that's what you want to think about. And my dear pile number one, this is the life story that I see came up for you energetically, your past, present, and future. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number one, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. As you know, today we're taking a look at the story of your life story. To do that, we are going to be taking a look at your past story first, and then we'll be taking a look at the present story, and then, of course, we'll be looking at your future story. So, very quickly, before we begin, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful mahogany obsidian in the shape of an angel. Your significator card has this particular sigil, which we will read at some point in the reading itself. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, as well as Taurus. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Okay, I think we are pretty much ready. Let's pull out the cards for the past, the story of your past and what is choosing to come out. So, you've got the card square. This is the square aspect in astrology with the keyword tension. And the other keywords are conflict, obstacles, will, power struggles, compromise, stress, weighing pros and cons, negotiate, self-reflection, opportunity for growth. Okay. What if I push these down? This way we have more space for the reading itself. Let's pull that card. Hold on. There we go. you've got the card Saturn in Gemini with concentration. You've got the story of Child of the Woods. Hold on. Hello, Child of the Woods. And you've, fine, next time. Oh, you've got politician with vote. How interesting. I am catching on to something really interesting. It looks like in your past there were political changes that happened that made you feel out of space. So much so that you may have even either went away from your city or your town, and you may have even come back, because that's the story of the Child of the Woods. But in any case, all I'm trying to say, it doesn't have to be like leaving. Maybe you didn't leave the city, but maybe you had to leave dear people to you. Maybe you couldn't speak to your loved ones because of these political changes. I don't know. But I'm seeing your reading focusing on something like that. There's tension. It's talking about a point of time in the past when there were major political changes happening in your country or your city. It could be in your company, by the way. Major changes in policies in your company, even that led to a lot of tension, and it led you to walk away from everything, is what I'm seeing. And I'll read the story to you to show you what I mean, and we might even get a better perspective as we read the story itself. But let's expand using your tarot cards. I don't know, doesn't it remind you of the radioactive sign? And you see leakage here, like something super toxic happened, in my opinion. And just like radioactive, it could have affected everyone in the same proximity, like everyone in the city, everyone in the town, everyone in the state, everyone in the country was affected by these changes, it seems. But it was super toxic specifically to you. And do you see, doesn't it look like two faces that are giving their backs to each other? There's the nose and the mouth, the nose and the mouth and the eyes. You know, the profile of two faces giving their backs to each other. So it looks like it caused a split in people, created a, what is it called? Not a tension, created a split, I think it's called. There's a word I can't remember. A rift, caused a rift between people. Yeah, and it was very toxic. Right, so let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you've got the Moon card. A time of great emotions. Three of Pentacles. Hello. Three of Pentacles. You've got the Fool card. And I see inclusiveness here, which is a great thing. Inclusiveness. So I don't know, did it cause a rift or did it cause inclusiveness? I'm not sure. We'll find out. I've got the Fool card and wow, oneness. Like people coming together. Wow. Okay. That's definitely inclusiveness. Like, did it cause a rift? I don't know. It seems like to some it caused a rift, but to others it caused more inclusion or something. Like maybe these are the pros and cons, right? Weighing pros and cons. It did cause a rift to a lot of people, but also the benefits was it's a new page where it brought a lot of people together. More people were included. It didn't matter who's, what race they are, what class they are, who's richer, who's more in power. It's like everyone's coming together harmoniously as one. We see each other as one or something. It brought people together, but caused a rift at the same time, at least for you, between you and someone in your life, a toxic rift even between you and someone in your life. That's what I am seeing here, and that's what we're looking at. Because from that point with the Fool card, starting from that point, there was a new beginning where you're happy with the pros and cons, you're happy with the focus, with concentration and all these swords. Like you're happy with all of the conversation going on, the talk, but at the same time, you can't talk a lot. You weren't able to speak a lot for one reason or the other, maybe to that person. No speaking. You couldn't speak to a dear person to you, perhaps. Um, yeah, it was like good news, but it was trapped. Like it was a great thing happening, but it wasn't good because it made you feel trapped. Like a quick example I can think about is watching the country, for example, change and become more inclusive, and that makes everyone happy, but then it causes a rift between someone and their parents who are not still on board with the inclusiveness. As an example, that's just a quick example that comes to mind. But keep in mind, it doesn't have to be like that. It could be that it caused a rift between like it brought people together, but it caused a rift between the trust in people and the corporations, for example. I don't know. But this is the sort of energy that I see in your past. To be honest with you, that is what I'm seeing here. There was a lot of vagueness. I feel like you had to walk away. The moon card is suggesting that you didn't have information. This person didn't have information about you. You didn't have information about them. I think you had to walk away because it was becoming. You felt you weren't included. Oh, the story is you didn't feel included. So maybe you walked away from your toxic town or toxic city in to go to a more inclusive place. The or maybe like, yeah, your city, your country, for example, was becoming very toxic, and you decided to move to another place that was more inclusive or something like that. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Let's take a look at the story. I think we're going to get more details as we take a look at the story itself. So, Child of the Woods, it's a story from Laos. Let's see what it says. Disheartened by society, a young girl escaped to the heart of the forest, determined to live as one with nature. Years passed, and only when she was ready did she emerge from the wilderness and return to her village, where she was revered and hailed as a goddess. This card is a sign for the reader to seek solace in environments that rejuvenate your spirit. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. That's what you did, obviously. It was a new page for you to go to a place, maybe totally new. It's a new adventure. You don't know where you're going. You left them, it seems, to heal your soul, being with people who were more inclusive or something. So yeah, you walked away from people because the policies or the dynamics, the politics, it doesn't have to be political. You know, when we call the dynamics between people understanding the politics of the group or of the people around you. So I would say the culture, maybe it doesn't have to be like policies, it could be the culture of the people around you were becoming very toxic, that you went on an adventure on your own to another place with people that understood you, with souls that understood you better. Yeah. So this card is a sign for the reader to seek solace in environments that rejuvenate your spirit. When the world's demands weigh heavy on you, it is okay to retreat and reconnect with inner peace. Take this moment to cut out the noise and listen to the whispers of nature. It is only in solitude that you may rediscover your own identity and find wisdom to navigate the challenges of the world, just like the child of the woods. Take your time. Okay, so amazing. Only when you are at peace should you return to others. Very, very, very wise, very deep. So, yeah, I definitely see you leaving a place, as mentioned. The moon in that case suggests that these toxic people in the past, they don't know where you are, or they can't see you, they don't know much about you. You went to a place or with a group of people that were rejuvenating to the soul, It wasn't about anything toxic, but more about connecting. It doesn't matter how different you are, but how the soul is understands each other. The souls understand each other, and becoming one, connecting with your soul in this new journey. So you took a long journey on your own, and you were so focused on the talk and the devilish ideas, the toxic ideas, and you wanted to leave to a place where you're understood, right? You don't like the policies and the corruption and the old place, or with the old people or something. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing your past looking at. This is where it's choosing to take us, the cards, and you've got, yeah, the Hermit. That's what I'm seeing. You, each step, each day, you went further away from these people in one aspect or the other, whether this is distance between you and them, and then distance in the actual place, distance as in you're not giving them any news anymore, and you grew more distant as time went by to find your own light first. That was your journey. You're finding your own light, finding your inner oneness, your inner self. Yeah, so you went obviously in your past on a long journey all on your own. Different place, different people. You're not speaking much or even at all, dare I say. Yeah, no communication here because you found the communication to be toxic. Yeah, and you went away from all of this tension to find yourself. I do foresee that you will come back one day based on the card, and you will be revered when you are back one day at some point. And you won't be back until you're fully rejuvenated and ready. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing in your past energy, my dear pile number 1. Very interesting. Let's now look at your story of what's going on in the present moment. Let's remove these and place the cards back in the deck as we ask the question. My dear pile number 2, what is your present energy? What is the story of your present energy? My dear pile number 2, what is the story of your present energy? Right. You've got the card Venus. Nice. Are you in love? Ooh, nice. Anyways, you've got the keyword love, and the keywords are all amazing. Venus is a wonderful planet. You've got beauty, romance, the day Friday. Oh, this moved. I think we need another one actually, since this moved. You've got Taurus and Libra. What are the signs in this pile? I think I put them away. Anyways, oh, I did not even move them. We've got Taurus for sure. All right. You've got courtship, aesthetics, sex appeal, affection, sensuality, values, pleasure, grace, gratitude, inspiration, self-worth. All amazing for sure. You've got Taurus again. Are you kidding me? So Taurus aspect of Venus is materialism, right? It's the second house there, ruler of the second house. So you're blessed materially right now. Really cool in one way or the other, because we see comfort, luxury, reliable, stubborn, possessive, hard work, life's pleasures, serenity, productive, determination, stability, as well as the ruler of the second house. You've got the connoisseur. So maybe you're an expert at something. Let's see. You've got Venus in Libra. My apologies. In Aries with lust. Okay. Did I read Aries? I did read Aries, didn't I? No, not in this pile. Okay. And you've got... Ooh, you've got both, my dear. Beauty pageant. Oh my God. Looks and money. Woohoo. You're doing great. Right. So you're attractive with this Venus energy again in Aries. So you've got the sex appeal, you've got the beauty, you've got the money. Oh, my dear pile number 2, that's the pile. Right? That's the pile. Right. You've got the Knight of Cups. Hello? Yeah. Knight of Cups. The Two of Pentacles. You've got the Hermit. You're still on your own right now. You're still on that journey we talked about. The Queen of Cups. So you're on the cusp of something here. You're on the cups. I foresee love happening in your life. Can't miss that. Action of Cups. I know that a lot of you are not interested in romance. Maybe you can say no, right? But I see it here. I see the beginning of a love story. I see you on the cusp of a beginning of a wonderful love story. So at this point of your life, as your cards show, you're hitting the mark. You're hitting the mark in different areas of your life. You're taking good care of yourself. You're really attractive. You have you're making money with Taurus. It shows. It shows. You're still on that journey of self-discovery and leaving the toxicity behind, as we saw in this card here. And yeah, it talks like something is about to begin now. Hold your tongue. Hold your tongue. I feel like the reading isn't going to tell you exactly what's about to start. But my dear pile number 2, although this is not your future part of the reading, we did discuss that you are at the cusp of something. So right now, these days, something is going to happen romantically. I mean, you don't have to claim it when it does happen at all. But it seems to be important, even if you don't date this person or you don't like this person. Maybe they're going to be your friend, you know? So at the end of the day, it does seem to be an important relationship here. Now, I'm seeing something important. This is someone who's showing up in your life who you would have in the past given your back to. But it seems like you are interested in them now. I don't know why. We can ask. What's going on here, please? For pile number 2, did I didn't interpret it right or something? Let's see. Let's allow the cards to show us what's going on here, please. I told you, 6 of Cups is memories. So this is someone you've given your back to before. Told you guys. You've given your back to before. Maybe it's someone you know in the past that you didn't like, or maybe they didn't like you in the past or something. Can we get more information, please? Ace of Pentacles. It's like when you were in a certain environment, you didn't see each other in the same way when you are out of the environment. So I'm starting to pick up on something. Remember, we did talk about how you left some people. Meeting this person back then in the environment that you were in, maybe you didn't like them because of the environment. Maybe you thought, oh, this person must be like all the other people in this environment if they're getting along with them. And I think meeting them outside of this environment makes you actually pay attention to them, because now you're thinking, what are they doing in this environment? Maybe they aren't what I thought they were, or something along these lines. 7 of Cups. I'm seeing daydreaming with the 7 of Cups. I'm seeing you relax and daydreaming about this person next. I'm seeing that this person is taking action towards you. And I'm seeing you on the cusp of great love. You, again, might not want to fall in love with this person. Maybe your guys are going to be great friends. It really depends on you. But all I can tell you about this person is that you know them, the connoisseur. Connaît, to know, right? So you know them. You know them. and it's going to be romantic. Or, by the way, second house could be business. So maybe you knew them, you weren't interested in each other back then, but now you're like, where you are today, maybe you both are thinking, hey, we should consider doing business together, right? So it really depends on how you see this reading or how it resonates with you. It's your pile. But I see that it's someone that you gave your back to, or you gave your back to each other before, but things are totally changing. You're like looking back, both of you, at the past, them thinking about you and going, oh my God, look at pile number 2 today and how amazing they are. You look back into the past and you think, oh my God, they were so cute back then. Why didn't I notice them? Anything like that really is the sort of energy I'm picking up. So yeah, you're doing well, it seems. You're continuing on your healing journey, which is amazing. I see that in the present, right now, you're about to make important shots, important moves that are going to hit a home run. I want to say 3, to be specific, 3 home runs. One of them will be this relationship that you will create with this person who will be taking a lot of actions to approach you. And romantic or not, there will be dear and genuine emotions with the Queen of Cups between the two of you. There will be a lot of nurture, a lot of care. A lot of genuine emotions between the two of you. Business or not, this person will find you super attractive, very beautiful, very handsome, and they will find you to be well off. They will see that you're doing well in life. And this is what I am picking up in the energy of the present of your life story. So many things are going on at this point of your life, and I see the more you're healing and growing spiritually, the more bigger things in life are happening. But yeah, you're definitely taking very good care of yourself. You must be super attractive to begin with, and you're going through a glow up, it seems, these days. You're really glowing up, and it shows. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, this was your present energy. Let's now take a look at your future energy. Let me remove your oracle cards so that we pull out a new set of cards. And I'll put these back as we set the intention. What is the future energy of pile number 2, please? What is their future energy? You're going to be a winner, just felt it. So, what is the future energy of pile number 2, please? I think I should shuffle below because otherwise it's going to hurt your eyes. Let me shuffle outside the camera. I don't know what's wrong today. So, what is your future energy? You've got Leo. Ooh. The showstopper. Didn't I tell you guys? Didn't I tell you? So this is the pile. This is the hot pile. Period. So you've got enthusiastic, generous, magnetic, pretentious, show off, bossy, extroverted, proud, headstrong, loyal, seeks approval, a loving, ruler of the 5th house. Okay. You've got the story of the Giant's Mountain. Now I want you to see it. Can I let them see it? I don't want to hurt your eyes either. So yeah, that is the Giant's Mountain. Can I try one more time? Disclaimer, I'm just going to try one more time. And it worked. There we go. Okay, the Giant's Mountain. You've got Sun in Scorpio with endurance. You've got sports. Okay. And you have the cards. Whoa. This pile, my God. Okay, it looks like I'm not going to be able to put them towards the camera, the cards, because it's going to hurt your eyes. But you've got the 9 of Cups. You've got the Four of Pentacles. The Fool card again. Amazing. Is this talking about you going back? Remember when we said you might be going back one day? Yeah, I think you might be going back strong, like a giant. And you've got the Five of Pentacles. And look at the difference. Here they're wearing really beautiful shoes, whereas here the socks have holes. So it definitely represents, like, gives us, I want to say the juxtaposition of the cards are definitely giving us a lot of information, some form of comparison between a before and an after is what I'm picking up here. So what am I seeing? I'm seeing in your future, you're going far in life in this pile. You're really running fast, you're moving fast in life. And I see that you were able to achieve a lot of the dreams that you set out for in your near future. I do see that a lot of your dreams, especially ones that the people around you would consider nearly impossible to have, to find, you are getting. Why do I see you getting? Because it looks to me that, first of all, you seem to be a very impressive person. You've got that pizzazz to you. You've got that energy where you enter a room and you instantly have everyone glancing and staring at you. You've got that energy, that Leo energy. You are magnetic. You just got that look. Leo, it's very strong energy. I know this is Scorpio, but I'm talking about the lion here. So you've got that strong magnetic energy to you, and that's the first thing that's taking you far in life. But really, what's taking you far in life is that you seem to be someone who always holds the end of your stick. Because this is the story of the Giant's Mountain, which I'll read a small snippet to you about the story now in a moment. But I just want to say that you don't procrastinate. You're the person who works hard. You're the person who's seen like a giant, who's capable of many things. What's the word I'm looking for? You're seen as dependable. You're seen as someone who's got a lot of skills, who's dependable, who moves mountains literally in this story. And you always like to help out people. That was the point of the story. And you never miss an opportunity. Whereas there's a comparison here. And I don't like comparing ever, but if I see something is not for me to say, perhaps it is important for you to know. For one reason, this was toxic anyways. So I'm just going to tell you what I see in the reading. Because this story shows us two sides, where the giants, they've held their end of the stick, and the people, the whole town, the people, they didn't hold their end of the stick. And they lost the opportunity of having the giants help them. I see a comparison here again between these set of legs to this pair of shoe and this pair of sock. So yes, I am seeing your reading talking about comparison, where you're going so far in life, also making a lot of wealth, amassing with the Four of Pentacles, a lot of wealth, whereas perhaps you're leaving so many people in your forest. We keep seeing your forest. Maybe you live in a luscious place. There's minor detail, but it's there. You're leaving the maybe others behind, and you're going so high up in life. Do you see? So high up in life. You're moving fast towards that. And you're stopping at nothing. I see a lot of endurance in you. I see hard work. I see skills. I see who you are as a person as well. Gives you all these opportunities, and the reading keeps pointing towards stark difference. I'm sorry, but it is what I'm seeing. Stark difference, always. It might be very important for you to hear. It might be, must be, because this is what you're getting in your cards. But maybe it's important not in terms of comparison, but perhaps it take us to why this card showed how you're going to be, how you come back as a goddess, being revered as a goddess. So perhaps What the cards are trying to say, they're not trying to compare, going like, oh, you're better than others. Is not what the cards are saying. But perhaps it's trying to say that you're going to be such a golden egg. You're going to go so far in life. You're going to be seen as this giant. And there will come a time where you will go back to the place that you once left with these toxic people. And once you go back, it's going to be all different. It's a shame that they will revere you because of the achievements that you've done, but perhaps it's not just that. Maybe, just as the story as well, they changed. These people changed. They reflected, by the way, on what they did to her in the main big story. So perhaps you're going to go back because these people would have grown, reflected on what they've done. Also, it does help that they see you. It is what the cards are saying, that they do see you as a golden egg. Perhaps they're proud of you. Maybe they're like super proud of you. So yeah, I see a lot of these aspects here, and I do see you going back. As I told you from the very beginning, we did have an Easter egg from this card that you're going to go back and you will be revered. You're going to be seen as the giant when you go back. And it seems like at some point, this is going to start moving very quickly in your life. It's going to happen quickly. Before that, I do see you working hard, enduring something. I want to give you a date, but I want you to take this date with a grain of salt, please. I'm not giving you an official date, but there could be something around the Lionsgate, the next year's Lionsgate, 8/8. Could be wrong, but I could be very right. So just keep this date in mind. Around this time, perhaps massive things are going to happen in your life. This is perhaps when things are going to start running and moving quickly in your life. It is what I am seeing in the cards. It might not be the Lionsgate. It might be the Lionsgate in the year after the next, right? But I think I could be right about the Lionsgate. Which Lionsgate? I'm not sure. But it could be around the Lionsgate, where things at some point are going to be moving very quickly for you. And yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Before we go, I just want you to know, and this is the reason why I used this deck. I wanted to read out the blind spot. Knowing the blind spot in your life always helps you to move forward and shift to a higher timeline, even than higher than the one we're looking at. So this specific sigil is about trauma, your trauma. If you have drawn this sigil, you are not seeing how your own trauma is feeding into this situation, is causing recurrence, or is causing you to not see the objective truth of this situation beyond your filters. Trauma is essentially distress without resolve. When we experience distress, but cannot find a way to genuinely create resolve for that distress, we end up coping. That trauma becomes like a skipping CD that we never move beyond. We do not weave the pain that happened into the tapestry of our own life, a tapestry of our choosing, so that the trauma adds to our life. Instead, it only takes away from it. In this situation, you need to ask yourself, how could my past situations where I experienced distress without resolve be preventing me from seeing the reality of this situation? For example, in this situation, you may be thinking the present is the same as the past when it isn't. Or you may have experienced trauma that is making you act in ways that are not appropriate to the actual present scenario. Or you may be in a painful situation that is a repeat of the previous trauma simply to try to get a different outcome this time, so as to achieve a sense of resolve. We tend to make judgments about things based on how easily we can recall relevant examples from our memory. This means if we can remember things more easily, we will tend to assume they are more common than things we cannot remember. Yes, that's true. For example, if we watch violent movies and read about violent news stories, we are more likely to perceive the world to be dangerous. If we grew up in a home where our memories of our father was of him being emotionally unavailable, we are more likely to believe that men are emotionally unavailable. Our perspective will keep getting reinforced every time we encounter something that validates the assumptions we have already come to based on the assumptions we already come to based on our past experiences. If you have drawn this card, you need to realize two things. The first is that the time has come to really face your trauma and create genuine resolve with what is unresolved, because it is acting as a filter through which you cannot see reality, including the situation, whatever we're reading about clearly. The second is that each moment is a new beginning. The present does not have to be the same as the past. In fact, it often isn't even when we think it is. And no matter what assumptions you have made about how the world is, you can always change the way that the world is. Wow, very interesting. I love this card. I hope it helped add more depth to your reading and to the message you were meant to hear today. But my dear pile number 2, this is your story, past, present, and future. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 2, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at the story of your life. So to do that, we are going to be... Oh, this moved. I'm going to take it for the first part of the reading. We're going to be dividing your reading into 3 parts, where we'll first take a look at the energy of your past, the story that is choosing to come out in your past. And then we'll be taking a look at your present energy. And then we'll be taking a look at your future energy. So that is the plan. But very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Sodalite in the shape of a star. Adjust your star, adjust your crown. There you go. This is your sigil. That's your significator card. And we'll read the blind spot pertaining to this particular card during the reading. And then, if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Sagittarius, Aquarius. I'm just going to shuffle outside because I think it's hurting your eyes. Sagittarius, Aquarius, Aries, as well as Virgo. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. Oops, I think we'll take this card as well. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Right. I think we are pretty much ready. Let's take a look at your past position, the energy of your past, my dear pile number 3. And see what you've got. Right. You've got the card Saturn in Taurus with ostentation. Ooh, nice. This pile could possibly be coming from a wealthy background, maybe. Well, it's the second house. I would say wealth. Maybe you are attractive. Maybe it's not the wealth. You're very attractive and you drive a lot of attention. It's something that I'm seeing. Also, another weird thing is I'm sort of seeing this as a helicopter that is carrying some cargo or something. Like there's the fan, there's the helicopter, the wings. It's carrying a lot of cargo. Weird. It's how I'm seeing it. So anyways, maybe you're carrying a lot of baggage from your past, perhaps. But also the helicopter could be suggesting that you maybe have traveled a lot, or you moved between cities or states, or you've moved homes a lot, you know, it could be something like that. But that's just my initial impression. I may not be correct yet, at least. So you've got the story of a denied mother with the keywords denial, truth, as well as acceptance. Right? I'm sort of picking up something interesting, especially with this story because I know it. I'm just gonna wait, actually. Right, so you've got the card Gemini. Do we have Gemini? No, no, Gemini was, I think, in the first pile. Yeah. So you've got the investigator. And the keywords here are curious, social, knowledgeable, analytical, intellectual, quick witted, anxious, outgoing, inquisitive, easily bored, as well as the ruler of the third house. And what card did we miss? This one. You've got restaurant. Interesting. All right. Now let's take a look at your tarot cards. So, ooh, wow. So you've got the Queen of Pentacles. You definitely have something materialistic that everyone stares at. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's wrong with the camera today. So that could be your wealth. It could be your looks, something like that. You definitely have something that people stare at. Right. You've got, whoa, the star card. I'm telling you, this pile, you seem to be like you appear and you're a star. You can't be missed. You've got that star energy to you, you know? You've got the Six of Cups. Perhaps this card is taking us to your childhood. Yeah, it's definitely taking us to your childhood, which is the Six of Cups. Like, we're really looking at the past here. Far past. We see the mother here. We see the child here. We see you growing up. And finally, you've got the card, the Knight of Pentacles. Will that hurt? Okay, I gotta stop. The Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so what am I seeing from your past? Oh, yes, what I wanted to tell you. What did I want to tell you? I want to tell you that it seems your reading is taking us to a story, just because of the YouTube rules, a story from your past, well, where you were more privileged, so much more privileged than your family and even your ancestors. Why? Because of the story of the denied mother here. I'll read the story to you and you'll be able to understand why I say that. And then we can take it from there. So, a denied mother is a story from the Philippines. Let's see what we have. Right. So it says denial, truth, acceptance. The Sultan once owned a dog that mysteriously gave birth to 3 human daughters. The Sultan took the girls in as his own and married them away when they came of age. When the Sultan died, the dog sought out her daughters, only to be faced with rejection and denial. The 2 eldest daughters were ashamed of being born from her, but the youngest accepted her mother without shame. With each passing day, the daughter's piety and love healed the dog and transformed her into a human. This card's theme is to remind us not to forget where we came from. Just as the youngest daughter showed compassion and acceptance for her mother's true self, you are encouraged to treat what you may consider unseemly in your past with empathy. By acknowledging your roots and embracing your experiences, you can foster healthy self-acceptance and understanding. So, I am seeing the story here, as you can see, of someone living a childhood of being super privileged in an aspect. You may argue, I wasn't privileged, but if you compare yourself to your maybe parents, city, I don't know, a neighborhood, maybe you came from a neighborhood that wasn't as privileged and you grew up being privileged, maybe in comparison to everyone else in this new area, maybe you weren't privileged, but going back to the roots in one way or the other, do you see the roots here? It's crazy. You were privileged. But I'm saying, in case you don't see yourself privileged, which I would highly doubt in this pile, because it shows. I think your privilege absolutely shows. So it could be wealth, but it could also be looks. Like, there are certain areas that are very cruel to people who don't look as attractive to other to what was I saying? Who they're cruel to people who don't look as attractive as others in that area. So if that is the case, perhaps it resonates with someone. Perhaps your family wasn't as good looking as you are. Maybe you're very good looking, and that really took you far in life growing up. It gave you opportunities that your siblings maybe didn't get, or your family didn't get. Maybe you had them, maybe they were proud of you, they loved how you were growing. Golden, you were growing as a golden child. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. So, or you know what else could be could match the energy here? Your parents, maybe, or your family wasn't well off, but by the time you were born, maybe they were able to make money, and you were brought up in a much better situation and circumstances than your parents were. Which makes some people sometimes ashamed of their parents. They don't want to say, "Oh, my parents weren't doing well," or maybe your siblings didn't grow up with wealth, but by the time you were born, there was wealth in the family. We can go on and on with examples, but I think you understand the energy that I'm picking up, and by this time, you probably can relate one way or the other if this is your pile. So I'm not going to worry too much about that, but this is definitely the energy that I'm seeing here. Your reading is taking us to a past where, yeah, perhaps this is why you have a helicopter. There's a move, there's a big move that happened, a shift between a past generation and yours, where you were absolutely privileged in materially in something, whether these are looks, um, wealth, it could be health, maybe you were very healthy, and maybe your sibling or your family wasn't as lucky. I don't know, but I definitely see that you stand right here. You're very lucky. There's a stark difference from childhood between you and others, and it shows that you grew up with that golden privilege. And yeah, what is the Knight of Pentacles showing here? Oh, the drift. Slowly but surely, it looks like you drifted away. It wasn't sudden. It's not like you were um, giving them your back since childhood. I think something happened here where maybe you didn't even realize it. You got caught up in the opportunities that life was throwing at you. And perhaps the communication here is talking about how there was a lot of communication between you and these people before. And by time, you drifted away. But let me check. What is the Gemini referring to? And then we want to know what is the restaurant referring to as well. Maybe you're a cook. You never know. So let's see. What is Gemini referring to for pile number 1, please? 5 of Swords. Oh. Anxious, right? I think, yeah, the drift. Perhaps there was a lot of communication between you and this person or these people back then, but then you started giving each other headaches. It was more bullying. The 5 of Swords is the card of bullying. Maybe there was starting to be a bit of bullying going on. The communication wasn't pleasant anymore, back and forth. You walked away. Yes, I told you, you walked away. Yeah, so there was a lot of communication until the communication was unpleasant. It became on the surface because Gemini, they love to explore different topics, maybe not go deep in them, but they like to know a lot of things on the surface. And this is why I'm getting the idea of the surface. Perhaps there was a lot of communication before, but then it started becoming on the surface, slowly but surely drifting, where you're like, oh, hi, hello, are you doing good? Good, yeah, I'm doing good, thank you, okay, bye-bye. Something like that. The cards do show that deep down, whether you realize it or not, because maybe you're listening to this pile and you're like, no way, I have no shame whatsoever or anything. Maybe you're not realizing that there is deep beneath all these layers some form of shame or something. You were privileged, obviously. You came, you were born privileged, or you grew up privileged, and sometimes you wouldn't notice. You never thought about it, perhaps. But I do see, I do depict with this card that there is some form of shame that you want to stop denying or accept, become one with it, to be proud of it. But yeah, that's what I see with the Gemini card. There's something about communication here, a cut off in communication, where there used to be a lot of communication. A restaurant, what are we seeing with the restaurant card for pile number 3, please? Four of Wands. These are people that you used to have a lot of fun with. You used to go out with them. You used to have fun with them. Yeah, party maybe even with them. Knight of Swords. Yeah, you believed in each other with the Knight of Swords. You used to run to each other, be there for each other, have dates, go out with each other. There's quick response to each other. Yeah, if we quick response, quick communication, quick response right away. Hello, yes, let's meet there. Okay. So yeah, I think it's talking about people who used to go out with, who used to be there for you. Maybe you also used to be there for them. And these cards are not blaming you. Maybe you had a reason to walk away. And we did see with the Five of Swords that communication started becoming toxic. So this is in no way pointing fingers at you and telling you to, like, you're the one who's in the wrong here at all. I just want you to know that although you may be completely in the right, there is a bit of shame here going on. Or maybe it's them, I could be wrong, but I feel from the positions of your card and how they're relaying the story that there could be shame here. So yes, you used to go out with them, you used to hang out a lot, drive to restaurants, go out in restaurants together, and so on. Yeah, maybe you grew up with these people, you were always privileged, and maybe when you grew up, you started drifting away. So I think you started drifting away. Now we're looking at these cards when you grew up, not in childhood. So you grew up with them. There was a lot of communication between all of you. And then these privileges, they gave you a lot of opportunities, and you started drifting away. And please do not feel bad for being privileged. The reading is not calling you off, it's showing your energy. You're lucky, you get to claim the blessings that the universe gave you. And if these people were bothering you, you get to walk away. It's just that I'm noticing this part here that maybe you want to look into. But other than that, this is the snippet that we see in your past, growing up privileged, among being the golden child or someone golden amongst your community. You were really loved. Maybe this wasn't the case when you grew up, although you have someone here who still really loves you from the past. That could be a parent, maybe it's your parents, but they're still holding on to you. They love you. They're proud. See, they're very loyal to you. We have dogs here. They're very loyal to you, your parents, or maybe your neighborhood or your friends. Someone here holds you dear, is not happy that you kind of don't want them anymore. Who's this person for pile number 3? High Priestess. It says High Priestess is knowing the information within, which means you know. Yeah, so that is what I'm seeing, my dear pile number 1, as your past position and what chose to come out in your story today. Let's now clear out the cards and see what your present is showing. I'm so curious. Very interesting story. Let's see where this is taking us. Your present situation, my dear pile number 3. Let's place these back as we set the intention. What is, my dear pile number 3, your present story? What is your present energy? And what is your present story? Wonderful. Let's shuffle your cards. What is your present energy? What is your present story? My dear pile number 3. Okay, so you've got Moon with the keyword emotions, and the other keywords are moods, intuition, personal needs, Monday, the sign Cancer, the unconscious, of course, comfort, feelings, family, home, reflecting, yin, as well as femininity. You've got the story of Puteri Sadong, right? Ah, look, it's working. Amazing. And the keywords are duty, suppression, as well as regret, right? You've got, look at that split. I'm curious. What is that card? Mathematics. Calculating things when it's more emotional, maybe. We'll find out. And you've got the card Jupiter in Scorpio with manipulation. Lovely. Let's take a look at your tarot cards in the present position. And you've got the, whoa, Page of Cups. Lovely. Okay. You've got the Empress. Beautiful. Let's take that. You've got the Knight of Swords. You come across as being someone who's constantly chased, someone blessed. You see, you come across as someone who other people really admire, look up to, think about a lot, always have pleasant feelings when dealing with them. Wow, something along these lines. And you've got, whoa, Six of Wands. You're a very popular person. So yeah, right now I see a lot of popularity in your energy. You've grown up beautifully. You're beautiful or handsome, attractive, abundant. You're an abundant person. Yeah, people look up to you. I keep saying in this time of your life, they admire you. You have a lot of people running towards you, the Knight of Swords. They believe in you. You have a crowd here. It might be like maybe you have a crowd, maybe you have an audience, maybe you publish books. You're popular one way or the other. Maybe you're popular in your industry, maybe you're popular in your company, amongst your friends, amongst everyone. It's kind of the energy I'm seeing. Like with the world here, I feel like everyone just naturally is really drawn to you. You've got that, what is it, pizzazz, you know? Yeah, I definitely see that. Maybe you're someone who's, maybe, because you've got the helicopter here and you've got the world, maybe you're someone who's currently traveling in your world at the moment. You're coming back with, what is it? Like you may, I'm saying you may be shopping, like traveling, buying things. Very specific, I know, but could be resonating with someone here. Also, these hands remind me of social media. Maybe also, maybe you don't have to be like a content creator, but maybe people just love checking out your social media, your Instagram, or whatever, and they give you a lot of hearts. They love watching what you're up to. This is the kind of energy I'm picking up here. Very attractive person. But I'm wondering, with the puteri sadong as well as the manipulation, we see more going on here in your life at the moment. And we'll see why you have mathematics in conjunction to emotions. That's very interesting as well, if you ask me. Math and emotions, they do different type of calculations. So, puteri sadong. There we go, is a story from Malaysia. No, sorry. Walinong is from Malaysia. Oh, yes, it's also Puteri Sadong is also Malaysia. So page number 25. Right. So the story is Puteri Sadong was a beautiful, I told you, was a beautiful Kelantanese queen who attracted the attention of the warlike Narai king of Ayutthaya. And maybe you have someone who has an eye on you at the moment, really likes you. That's the king here, which means it could be, you've got the king here, a pharaoh. So maybe someone in a high position really has an eye on you, really is attracted to you. She agreed to become Narai's concubine to save her people from invasion. Beautiful, with a beautiful heart, that's a win. I get why people love you. So, she agreed to become Narai's concubine to save her people from invasion. After she was released by King Narai, she returned to her husband, only to find he had broken his vows and taken another wife. The dutiful queen endured it, all for the sake of the kingdom. However, when an argument with her husband broke out, she stabbed him, accidentally unaliving him in a fit of rage. Horrified by her actions, she vanished, never to be seen again. This card urges you to acknowledge your feelings and express them in constructive ways. Yeah, manipulation here. That's why you've got emotions and mathematics. I think you're going through something at the moment. While it looks so amazing on the outside, in your inner world, there's so much going on. Like Puteri Sadong, you could be carrying, I told you, carrying baggage here. You could be carrying suppressed emotions smoldering beneath the surface. Just as pressure builds within a volcano until it erupts, so too do our suppressed emotions accumulate until they burst forth in unexpected and often destructive ways. Find a way to seek healthy outlets for release before you react in a way that you regret. So I think this reading is coming with great advice. It looks like you're going through something hard at this point of your life. It looks like you perhaps have sacrificed a lot, you've done a lot of good things, and someone betrayed you these days. Yeah, in your present life. Someone betrayed you, and it looks like it's bigger than that because we've got Jupiter and Scorpio. This is like expansion of the Scorpio energy. When they're enemies, they're rough, so that's why we have manipulation. It looks like you're dealing with someone here who's not easy, who's trying to manipulate you, has done things behind your back. Yeah, I'll see how these two connect. Although this page means that this is someone new in your life who just entered. Anyway, so you're dealing with people who really put you down. Yeah, they were disloyal in one way or the other, quite manipulative. Now, it looks like you are dealing with this situation in a different way. Perhaps you're trying to rationalize it too much when it's an emotional aspect. An example of what I'm trying to say is, let's say you're thinking, if I do this, it means then that this person shall too do this back for me? And it's so mathematical. Although you could be right in theory, completely right. Any balanced, normal, any balanced person that's healed would definitely do that. But not everyone is in this place. And perhaps you're dealing with someone who doesn't see the equation in the same way you're doing. There's far more sophisticated or layers of emotions involved that maybe you have no idea about, that you're not putting into consideration, like that you don't have in consideration. Like maybe they have layers of trauma. Also, you want to consider the fact that you too may be carrying some emotions from the past, from things that happened in the past. You too are carrying some baggage, and sometimes these things could be acting as filters, making you see the world in one way, and it's not that way. In all cases, I'm seeing the way you're calculating these emotions, or the way you're looking at emotions, is too stiff, and you want to understand the depth of the situation, the depth of how you feel, and the depth of how this person feels. I think this is a great time to look at the guidebook and see what the blind spot here is, in case we're not picking it up. So, sigil number 41. What are we not seeing in this pile? Chicanery? No, I need to check what that word means. Hold on. Okay, so it means the use of deception or subterfuge to achieve one's purpose. All right, so here it says, if you have drawn the sigil, the extremely positive attitude or behavior you are showing towards something suggests you feel you lack, or fear you lack, a trait you deeply desire. When you fear you lack something, instead of becoming aware that you feel that lack within yourself, and instead of overcompensating in other areas, you overdo in that area of deficiency. For example, you may be socially anxious, but you overcompensate by acting overly socially confident. Or if a person fears that deep down they are prejudice. It's not prejudice. So, or if a person fears that deep down they are prejudiced and therefore lack perceived goodness of character, they will often go to extreme lengths to prove their generosity and positive attitude. They will act unprejudiced and demand equality from those who are openly prejudiced relative to a stigmatized group of people. This is even truer when their sense of themselves as unprejudiced is threatened in some way. Overly positive or rigid attitudes can so often suggest underlying negativity we are trying to deny, reject, suppress, avoid, and disown. If you have drawn the sigil in this situation, you are terrified about something you fear that you lack. As a result, you are overcompensating to try to cover over the truth that you either fear that you lack that thing or actually do lack that thing. Are you fooling anyone? Are you fooling yourself? What are you afraid that you lack? What would be so bad about lacking that thing for you personally? Now is the time to face that lack, which you are using chicanery to try to prove doesn't exist. So here's the thing. So that could be someone doing that in your life, or it could be you without realizing, because I am sure if you are going through something like that, you're not going, ha ha ha, I'm going to do that to people. Of course not. We all have our insecurities in one way or the other, and we all could be in one way or the other doing that, right? Without realizing. So perhaps your reading just wants you, you're a star. Do you see how amazing you really are? That's something that nobody can take from you. In case this is you projecting your past without you realizing it, because there is something that you fear you lack deep down, your cards are simply suggesting that the best course of action to take, so that you don't get yourself into situations where there's manipulation and there's a rough relationship and betrayals between you and others without you realizing. It begins by not calculating everything. This has to be done this way, but rather, or like, if I do this, this has to be done this way. That's what's right. Maybe on the outside, you could be right. Like on a surface level, you could be right. But if you look deep down, there could be like something that you feel that is making you contribute to this situation without realizing. And it is pointing towards you accepting something that you may feel shame towards. The moment you integrate that by telling yourself you're not ashamed of that anymore, and acting in a way that shows that you're not ashamed of that anymore, you would have successfully integrated that shadow and healed that part of yourself, and you will be able to quickly recognize from that place what is like toxic relationships, what is the right thing. You will have that sense of what the right thing is to do, and not just being calculative, like it looks right on the outside but it's not natural on the inside, or it's not natural. It doesn't seem natural. That's the positives that come from healing. So you're going far in life, but the card is suggesting don't go far with this baggage, because it will turn the blessings, the amazing things, into unnecessary toxicity. Let me give you an example. So let's say a person goes far in life. They become the most attractive movie star, right? Everyone admires them. They go far in life very quickly. They're on the magazines, the cover of the magazines. They're on television. They're all over social media. They're the it person, you know? If this person has unhealed trauma, or like all of us, we all have something to deal with. But I mean, if they have something like some form of baggage that they're carrying, that they're not looking at or healing, it could be the very thing that leads to complications that are unnecessary, that another person wouldn't fall into. Like, for example, one person, two people, famous people, equally revered, could be dealing with a particular situation differently. One person can be criticized and they can say, well, this is their opinion. Maybe people don't like that aspect about what I've done in this event. I understand, but they're able to move on in their life. Another person would obsess about it, would cry over it, would go all over the television and the social media, talking about it and talking and talking and defending themselves, making exaggerating making the situation blow up even more, where people see that they can't own up to their mistakes, and they complicate things in their lives where it didn't need this sort of complication. So that's just a quick example of what this manipulation is trying to say. It is, you're going far in life very quickly, you're becoming very popular here, you're like at the prime of the happiest time of your life, it seems, or you're getting there very quickly, you have a lot of people that admire you, you are attractive, you're the it person here. So don't let the old baggage cause unnecessary tragedy and trauma that you don't need. And it really begins by not going, I did this right, this person has to do this right as well, I'm not wrong here. Sometimes when we're acting out from a place of hurt or pain or shame or whatever, we don't realize the little nuances, the things that we do that hurts other, that exaggerates the situation. We're so blind to it. That's why this deck is called the blind spot. When we recognize it, we're able to deal in a more peaceful, more harmonious way. And sometimes we do things when we think we look in a certain way, but everyone can recognize and see our trauma, where sometimes we're blind to it. And it's really great that the cards can serve us in this way and show us. And remember, the cards are here to show you something that in different ways everyone is dealing with differently. Each one is hiding or not hiding, being private with something, healing with something in privacy. So that's okay. The cards just want to help you out to acknowledge these feelings, especially I'm picking up something regarding shame, to own it, to integrate it, and to be even proud of it. And when you're proud, no one can shame you with anything. And that is the second part of your reading, my dear pile number 3. And that is what I see going on in your life. Very interesting. Guys, this is why I love doing tarot readings for you guys. I get a glimpse into the different types of lives. And it's looking amazing. I'm very proud of you. You do continue doing a good job. And yeah, let's continue with the third part of your reading, of your story. And now we're taking a look at your future. Let's see. What you have. So, my dear pile number 3, you've got the card in your future, the third house. Communication is very strong in this pile. It looks like you're a very social person. Yeah, you continue to have communication. Whoops. Communication. Yeah, it seems like you're a very social person, I must say, in this pile. So, third house, you've got the Battle of Two Roosters. Which pile? I think this popped up in pile number 2. If you're drawn to pile number 2, I highly recommend it. It also came in their future. This is why I highly recommend it. It came in the future part. So you've got the Battle of Two Roosters. Can I bring it up? Yes, great. With the keywords Peric, Pursuit, Omens. You've got the card Saturn and Gemini. Yeah, a lot of communication here. But this time, it seems like someone's not talking here. Right, Saturn in Gemini with concentration. And you've got Morning. Right. Let me put these cards in. What do we see in your future, my dear pile number 3? Right. So you've got the Seven of Swords, the High Priestess, the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Wands. Right. What is going on here? Right. Looking at these two cards, I see in your future you're going far in life. These are the roosters of two kings, so two big people in two big positions. And because they got into this ego fight, they lost everything, both of them. So you want to be careful with that. I'll tell you the same thing I told pile number 2. I'll read the story for you. In fact, this is a great time to do that. It's a very interesting story and it's telling you to be careful, knowing when to stop. Because sometimes it is because of ego and pain that we go far when it's not necessary. And it's funny, we were just talking about something similar when looking at your cards in the present position. So you want to be careful. Here, you want to know when to stop because, yeah, I see two big people in big positions, or people, maybe you're popular, maybe there's someone else who's also popular, something like that. So what are we looking at? Battle of Two Roosters. I remember it was the first one. Let's quickly take a look at the story. And it says, the Golden Island roamed the seas. Oh, that's not the story. Sorry, my apologies. So this story narrates how two rulers seeking to resolve their feud through a rooster duel lost their prized birds to the sea. Divine intervention transformed these roosters into islands, a reminder of the self-destructiveness of using violence to solve disputes. Yeah, something could go awry here if you guys are not careful. This card advises caution in the relentless pursuit of an adversary, warning of self destruction in the process. Recognize when to halt after achieving success, lest you snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Display restraint and wisdom by acknowledging when goals are met and grievances must be released. So know when to stop is the thing here. Like if you need to defend, like set boundaries, defend yourself, do that. But maybe you are competing with someone here. You're two big players in the market or two popular people. And you want to know, you want to recognize when it's time to stop, when it's not necessary to continue the feud or the competition, even if it's unnecessary. So this tale invites introspection regarding the impact on ourselves, our community, and the environment. It also suggests that personal setbacks can be transformed into valuable experiences, shared as warnings to protect others from going down the same road. So yeah, it's telling you to be careful. Don't go down the same road as those before you who have definitely mourned a situation like that. And if you're not careful, that could happen to the both of you in this situation. So it's not like you and not them, but both of you could totally lose in this situation. So this is not scaring you. This is not telling you don't defend yourself, go for it, but also be wise and recognize when you need to stop, because it seems like this future is split into two. There is dishonesty going on, there's cheating going on here when you're so big in life. Yes, that's there. Take your rights, stand up for yourself. You obviously are someone that's very attractive, someone who has a lot of clout, as they say, and someone here could be jealous, trying to take it from you. So yeah, stand up for yourself, but also be wise and know when it's time to talk, third house, and when it's time to hold your tongue and let it go. It all depends on the situation rationally, not from an emotional perspective. Again, I see with the helicopter, you're going far in life, and the lighter you go, the higher and the further you go. My dear pile number 3. Your cards describe you as a highly intuitive person. You're able to recognize and you will be able to see. See, this person may think you can't see, but oh boy, can you see? You can see what's going on. And that's what really going to help you stand up for yourself. And here it is again. The less baggage you have, the more you work on your limiting beliefs, the things that the cards have been showing you throughout the reading, the less your mind will have control over you in a moment like that. Because we can all say, when I'm there, I'm going to be wise. But sometimes our shadows take over and they run the show. So if you don't want something like that to happen, which could be in the future, it may or may not, it really depends on if you heed the call or heed the advice that your guides are giving you, and work on yourself and your mind with regards to the particular situation given to you. And it might be, like I said, as easy as simply accepting something from the past. It will save you drama, it will save you loss, it will save you extreme sadness in the future, when really your future is filled with you winning and going far in life and being part of the big boys club or something here. So yeah, it could end or it could be a new beginning. It depends on how you think about it. So the Ten of Wands say the same thing. It's the pinnacle of heaviness, but it's also the end of it. So it looks like a sort of feud could happen in your future when you're somewhere big in life. And that's a very critical moment that your future wants to show you here. And again, with this being your significator card, if you recognize it, if you look within, the High Priestess teaches us to look within in order to integrate the shadow. That's what the High Priestess is all about, integrating the light and the shadow. You will have the wisdom to navigate in a time like that and know when to walk away, end the feud, end the heaviness, and look forward to a bright future and enjoy the amazing things and get the potential that you deserve. Yeah, this is what I'm seeing in your pile, my dear pile number 3. An amazing future ahead, so much so that the cards aren't even like wasting time on it. Is you're gonna be there. It's inevitable for you. It's kind of like you were born to be at the top. This is why you have all the privileges that you've always had. You will always be shining bright. Nobody can take that from you, but don't let a small shadow run your life. Instead, take reins over your life by integrating that which within you needs to be seen. It wants you to see it. And my dear pile number 3, this is exactly what I see in your reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 3, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye!